Alright, welcome back everybody to this introduction video for the sub-series that we're going to have here on Gamer Bust. I'm going to be mostly in the sub-series, though Brent may show up and Monica may show up and other people may show up in order to play maybe multiplayer games or something like that. So, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then check out this video right here, which is me and Brett talking about what's going on and what this is about. And this is going into a deeper dive of the video series that I'm doing. Brett probably will have his own or something like that. Now, I am here in my office. It's not the studio, so the camera isn't going to be as great as the studio, but that's okay. I'm not going to be doing tons of full screen stuff. And the audio isn't as good as those mics, but I kind of like this. It sounds like more of a broadcastery, like radio kind of style, which is really nice for this series, which is mostly about retro games. So why not have a more of a retro sound, right? So what I'm doing is I'm collecting some old games. This is what this series is about. I'm collecting old games. I'm just going to be grabbing some old games. I have NES games. I have some games for the Super Nintendo. I have some games for the Nintendo 64, some for the Sega Genesis. I'm probably also going to be getting some of the other systems, like an Atari Lynx or something like that. And I'll show you those systems and all of that stuff as well. So I'm going to be kind of collecting. This is kind of like a collect-a-thon. So I'm going to collect the game, show you the game, talk about why I got the game, something like that, and then do gameplay. So there's going to be gameplay about what's going on and about what's going on. There's going to be gameplay for the game that I'm going to be playing, and it's going to be like a first-time experience, or if I've already owned the game before, it's going to be a nostalgia experience, and hopefully you guys can share in that. So what Monica is calling this is Brent's Odyssey, and I really like that name. It's really stuck with me. She just randomly came, off the cuff, and so I think I'm going to go with that for the name. Now, I'm not collecting things based on what they're worth. I have, I may have some stuff like this game here that may be worth something compared to a lot of other games, but I'm probably going to get a ton of games, like this that just look really cool and is only like a couple of bucks. So I'm not really into this whole thing to buy low and sell high, or sell games or collect them so that I can make a bunch of money or anything later. What it's about is collecting things that look cool to me and playing those and keeping those and just kind of, just collecting. It can go into the Gamer Bust archive, and maybe we'll have it in some of the gameplay videos that I do with Brett. Now, what is this all about? Like, what's the background behind it? As a kid, I would see a lot of games. I would go up, look in the glass, or go and pick up the box, be like, wow, this is really cool. I want this. But we didn't really have the means to just, willy-nilly buy those games. So usually on my birthday and Christmas, I would get some games, and they'd be kind of random. My parents would talk to other parents and say, figure out what their kids want, and then they would kind of get that from me. And that's how it usually went. And they got a lot of really good games somehow from just that, which was awesome. So I want to take that experience of, for example, one time I went into a pawn shop and I picked up a game and was like, wow, this is really cool. It's only $1. And then my parents bought it for me because it was only $1. I mean, what can you do? It's like, it's a game. It's awesome. So I want that experience where I go to the store, I kind of pick up a game, kind of like, let's say this one, there's only a couple bucks. Maybe good, maybe bad, maybe the worst game in history, but the box art looks cool. At least on the cartridge. And I'm going to be going on eBay and Google and type in the name of the game and say box art, and look at the front and look at the back and check out the box and read the description and buy it based off of that. I'm not going to be going to websites and looking at reviews and all this stuff. I'm not going to look up gameplay videos or anything like that to make my decision. I'm going to look at the box, think if it's cool, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to collect that sucker. So that is how the collecting is going to work. It's very much like when I was a kid, back in the 90s, I'd get a box and we didn't have internet, so I'd be like, this is a really cool game, I want to play this game. There's no internet to check out, at least in my family, until later on. So I pick games based on how they look, and that's how I'm going to do it while I'm collecting. So I'm also going to be basing it off of what friends say. So if my friends recommend a game, or you guys recommend games, I get a lot of recommendations for the same game in the comments, I'll collect that game too. Because why not? That's how it worked as well. When I was a kid, my friends would tell me about games, and that's kind of how you made the choice. So I do have new systems. I do have the Xbox One. I do have the PS4. I got these new systems. I got the Switch, and I'm still going to be buying games for those systems because why not? Those systems are awesome. However, this whole sub series is mainly about me collecting games for the old systems and playing them, collecting for some systems I've never had. For example, I've never had the Sega Genesis growing up, and my friends didn't really have it. We all had like Nintendo or Nintendo kids. So having that is awesome. Now I can actually go and play the games that I've never played. I haven't played a single game on Genesis, and I get to actually collect them and play them, which is awesome. So I will be mainly getting those games and not from the new systems. I'll probably, as I said, buy some systems I never had and play those, just like Genesis or Atari Lynx or the Neo Geo, anything like that. So these videos are probably going to have a special title, or maybe a special format to the title, and a thumbnail that's special, something like that, in order to differentiate them. Because as we said in the other video with Brent and I, we are still doing our standard videos as always. These are just additions to the channels, these two sub-series that we'll be doing. So the long and short of it is, we're going to go out, I'm going to collect a game, I'm going to come back, I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to say, this game looks awesome, look at this art, whatever, check out the box art, show you the box art, maybe read the box art, kind of go over what the game is or history about it, on I don't know, some kind of description about the studio or something like that, and then play the game, and you're gonna be able to experience that first time experience, or that experience of nostalgia, where let's say that I'm going to get one of the old games that I had as a child that I no longer have because we sold it off or something, gave it to a friend, never saw it again. We all know that. I'm going to have every single game I had as a child, so that's going to happen. So it's either going to be a completely new experience full of nostalgia because these games are just my childhood, or it's going to be an old game that I used to play a lot, like this right here, GoldenEye 007. Oh my god, the controls are probably awful compared to the way we have controls nowadays in games, but man, the nostalgia, like those cheat codes for like Donkey Kong, like the Big Head thing, oh my gosh. So I can't wait. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.